I built the famous Flak 36, also known as 88 from World War II, which was one of the most powerful weapons of the German army. On top of it, I've recreated this picture right here, only using Lego pieces. So let's see how I've managed to build all of this. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. At first, I want to show you the 3 soldiers in form of Lego, which you can clearly see in this picture. The first one is this officer, which is printed onto old dark grey. The minifigures are pretty rare, as it is quite complicated to source these parts of minifigures nowadays, as Lego don't produce them anymore. But as you can see, the dark bluish grey versions also work great for German uniforms. The second and third minifigures are basically the same, only having different heads of course, as these are no clone troopers. And here are all 3 of them lined up. But the most important thing is missing yet, the Flak 36. As you can clearly see, the one in the picture doesn't have the shield, so let's remove this one real quick. If you want to build this model by yourself, I can definitely recommend the building kit at our webshop called Bricks of Valor. The kit includes all the original Lego pieces which you will need to build the Flak 36. On top of it, you can save 15% on the kit from September 1st until September 7th. Your purchase directly supports the channel and helps creating videos like this one, so feel free to check it out, but let's continue with the video. Everything is prepared, so let's finally start building the whole mock. At first I want to build a cool border which you actually couldn't see in the picture, but I still decided to include it in my build as I think this adds a lot to it. I've therefore used a combination of dark tan, dark bluish grey and medium red pieces. The dark bluish grey pieces are supposed to be small rocks in between the ground. To also add some structure to the wall, I've decided to complement the masonry bricks as well as some rounded 1x2 dark tan plates. So let's finish all of this border in a quick time-lapse speed build. Enjoy! After finally finishing the border, I had to raise all of the other part of the build as well. I've therefore used at first these filler bricks and added then 4x8 plates in dark tan on top of it. I usually like to use bigger plates to raise all of this up as it definitely takes less time, but unfortunately I've used all of the bigger plates in previous builds and don't have them on hand yet. But as you can see, this way is also quite effective and didn't take too much time to actually raise up the whole platform. Due to the border, which is 1 brick thick, I've needed to add some extra plates as I couldn't finish all of this up by using only 4x8 plates. I've therefore again added some filler bricks and used smaller plates to actually finish all of this finally up. Now we are getting into the more detailed work and I want to start with the fence. As you can clearly see, it is covered up with a lot of plants, so I definitely want to complement this in my Lego build. At first I've created the base of the fence by using modified bricks with start on the side. I've then added these bar pieces which work perfectly to add afterwards the leaf pieces, and here's our fence perfectly covered up with the plants. After preparing several more of the modules, it was finally time to add them to the rest of the build. I've therefore at first tiled everything off to perfectly add them to this. And you can see where I've added the studs in between the tiles. These Technic bricks with a hole inside allowed me to attach the fences to the build. Next I want to include the sandbags in between this gap. I've therefore again used dark tan 1x2 plates which were rounded as I think these perfectly match the shape of a sandbag. Next, the tedious work of tiling all of the grounds off could finally start. Beside dark tan, I've also complemented a lot of olive green pieces which work as grass. Not only to work as grass, but I think it is only good to have some variation in between the colors used for the ground. To create smooth transitions between the dark tan and olive green parts, I've used mainly these 2x2 wedged plates, and I've also used some regular plates for some smaller transitions. Now could add our first two soldiers to the build, which were actually placed like so in the real picture, of course. And the most important thing, we can finally place our flag at the right position. Additionally, I've placed a part of the fence at the right of the flag, which you also could clearly see in the picture. Beside missing details, the front part of the build is done, so let's build all of the street which you can see in the back of it. I've therefore used a bunch of light bluish grey plates and tiles. Next I will build this fence. I've therefore at first placed this 2x2 jumper plate at the build and used this dark bluish grey clip piece, which perfectly to add the fence to the build. To give the fence the round shape, I've placed the first piece at an angle like so, and then continue with a regular placement for the next part of the fence. I've then repeated this step several times. Now I just needed to do all of the work on the other side of the build. As you can see, I've placed most of the 2x2 tiles not perfectly at the plate, and I've wanted to create the effect of a destroyed street by that. The build needed some final touches, and the first one is building some rubble. I've therefore used 1x2, 1x3 and 1x4 plates, stacked them together in random ways, and in my opinion this creates a quite nice looking rubble effect. Now I just needed to place them right here as it is seen in the picture. You can't really see what happens at the right of the flag, but I've decided to add a small tree as well as some smaller leaf pieces all over the ground for some extra detail. And to keep the overall build uniform, I've added some of these plant pieces on the other side as well. The only thing which is missing now is our third soldier, which I will place right here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is our scene which you could see in the picture. I've made some research and found out that this might took place in the Netherlands 1944, but some sources also say that this takes place in France. I wasn't able to find it out 100%, but I think the picture still was pretty good recreated by me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.